Kaya. Holy and Dela.
Preach, Pastor.
Kai. My God. Hi guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Sam.
My name is Yemi,
And we are
the Fast Tribe.
a young migrant couple in the United Kingdom. We share about our life journey, life processes, things that can inspire young people from every part of the world that are intentional in taking their life processes seriously. Recently, we started an expression of the channel, Conversations with Sam and Yemi, where we bring people on board to share their life story, things that can help us grow. Because we believe that experiences that people have had in their lives, we can draw lessons from there and apply to our own lives to make our journey probably more smoother, more stress-free, because we believe that nothing is new under the sun. If you are new to our channel, welcome to the Faf Tribe. Take this as a welcome note from us. Thank you for joining our channel today. We hope that you're going to learn one or two things. If this is good for you, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on your post notification so that you will be notified when new videos drop. However, if you are a returning subscriber, if you are an OG in this family, welcome back. Thank you so much for supporting us week in, week out. We appreciate you. We do not take you for granted. You are the reason why we can come back again and shoot again and shoot again, because you are with us. Thank you very much. Today, we'll be talking about, does God really choose a partner for you? A lot of people say, God told me you are my partner. God told me you are my wife. God told me. Thank God I did not say God told me. I didn't tell you God told me. But did God really tell me, or did I just use my instincts to pick it? Now, this is what you're going to be learning, because it's important for married people to say these things, especially as young people, so that we will not be confused in life. So stay tuned to the end of this video, and we hope that you learn one or two things.
All right. So I believe that before you met me, you would have been in one or two relationships. So did you have that notion that maybe this or that, is there something coming up in this relationship, the ones you previously had? Something like that.
Yeah, so I believe that relationships are hinged on something. You are either in a relationship because of trauma, and the kind of relationships that you will choose will be based on, most likely, your life's experiences, how you grew, where you grew up from. I was very lucky to have stayed with a couple of people. I didn't just grow up alone in our own house, because at some point in time when I was young, I experienced other couples. So in my own house, it's pretty traditional. My dad and my mom, they are traditional. There are days when there is fun, but they are traditional husband and wife. Yes, husband and wife. That it was like a work kind of environment, like husband, wife, children, that kind of thing, or not necessarily toxic, but because that was my framework as a son in the house, first son that was growing up in the house. There was a strata. I felt like, okay, husband has to be the macho guy, and that at some point was not very good in my experience. But I think it was when I was in finishing high school, or maybe the middle of high school experience, I had an experience with another couple, and they were pastors, Pastor Badiru and his wife. I experienced a totally different thing. Now, that time my dad was not yet a pastor, so he was still working and all of that. But Pastor Badiru was, Pastor Badiru anyway. He's still a pastor, but was a pastor at the time. His wife was working in the government, and pastors in my church don't work. So he was a full-time pastor, focused on scripture, focused on praying, and he was a good teacher. He was a very good teacher of the word. I saw Deaconess Badiru go to work, do a couple of things. She worked for the government, Lagos State government at the time. She would go to work, get money. I was like, this man doesn't work. This is the woman doing the whole thing. And the family was running properly on the family was solid. I was like, this is another thing, and that experience shaped my understanding of what a wife should look like. Maybe it was not very good, because having the idea of a wife must be very industrious. Maybe it's not a mindset to necessarily have, but it shaped my my mindset about what a wife should look like. I would like to say that our growing up actually influences our choice of who we want to marry, whether we like it or not. If you grow up being middle class, you are likely to love someone around the middle class or maybe even lower. There's a mental barrier that I can't go higher in the social spectrum. Like, not that you cannot grow, but you can't love somebody that's higher in the social spectrum. Or else, if you have to do that, you have to grow into the higher social spectrum and then now love someone. Now, there is an issue with that. But what I'm saying is that our background influences our choice of who we want to marry. Does God choose for us? We're going to get there. But one thing you must know is that your background decides a lot.
True. And I think for myself, I actually didn't grow up with my dad. We were a family of just my mom and myself and my siblings. I didn't really have that picture of how a marriage should look like. My uncle, who was there like our dad, he stood in that place, that position. We visit them and we see how he relates with his wife and his children. But I didn't really put it in mind that, okay, this is how I want my marriage to look like. So I was just in an environment growing with the mindset that, okay, I just have to get married to a responsible person. So there was not really something that was really shaping my mind that, okay, I have to, this and this and these are the things that a marriage should look like.
Personally, I also feel like that background thing, because of the shortcomings in my own house, I felt like, no, I cannot marry somebody that does like this. That's background shaping my perspective. That's background shaping my idea of the ideal person to get married to. When I went further into discovering who I was gradually, and I'm still discovering myself, when I went further into finding out, getting born again, finding out who I really was in Christ and what my purpose looked like. It started also rewiring the kind of person that I'll get married to. I remember that when I was in secondary school, there was this amazing lady, amazing friend, Gloria Roberts. She was a very close friend at the time. Looking at who she was, Gloria Roberts is very humble. Gloria Roberts is very resourceful. She's very intellectual. She the way she carries herself, and she grew. Now listen, I think that her dad is late. You see that I'm linking something. Her dad is late. So I saw her as, this person. One aspect of my ministry is widows, orphans, people that don't have fathers. So I was emotionally attached to her as a friend, not because of her dad's demise or anything, because I don't even know when her dad died. I didn't even know that her dad was late, but I just like the way she carried herself, the way she saw life. Sometimes loss shapes our understanding of life. The way other people will be looking at life, people that have daddy and mommy, the way they'll be seeing life will be different from the way you see life as, if you don't have a father. So the way she saw life was unique. And she liked me, I liked her. As a friend, we didn't date because I think she was older than me by a year or something. So I think that was why by a couple of months. She was married. But we were friends until I left the country. We were friends, good friends. Gloria Roberts, amazing lady. I visited her in the house. I visited her mom because I'm hardworking. But what I'm trying to let you know is that our purpose chooses for us. Our purpose in life chooses our partners. Now, who determines the purpose is God. So God actually does choose. But how does he choose? He chooses according to the purpose that he has given man. Moving further in life, I met Zion. Zion, we didn't date as well, but Zion was an amazing friend. There was somebody, because when we were in pre-degree, there was somebody that I dated. I don't know if she had a dad or something, but I dated someone, I won't mention her name, just because of security reasons. So it was like a couple of months. Anyway, it wasn't like serious because we didn't know what we were doing. So we stopped dating and then we became friends. So because of where I've grown up from, I didn't grow up in a very vulnerable environment. So I like people that are vulnerable. You see that? Background shapes, purpose shapes. Not people that let anybody in and let anybody out. No. I like people that can acknowledge their wrongs. People that can acknowledge their process. I don't have this. People that can... I like that. And you must at least have found out who you have been called to be, because it influences who you marry. Because marriage is purpose. Marriage is purpose. Marriage is not, it takes me to Mauritius. I do, you do. We sleep with each other. No. Marriage is 24 hours responsibility. Marriage is 24 hours, 7 days purpose.
Well, for that, I remembered when I had my first relationship, it was an unserious one. Even my early relationships, they were very unserious because I knew that
Yeah, most
not
people,
that
most
you
relationships
know,
are not.
just vulnerable, and you just wanted to know how it looked like just having a boyfriend, things like that. But then I saw that these people I was dating at that time, they were not in line. Not that I knew what exactly God was calling me to do at that time, but then I was not careless. I was not careless to just, you know, misuse my life and just use the opportunity anyhow. So I remember when I dated the first person, you know, I said, I mentioned it in one of our videos. It was online. I didn't meet this person. It seemed like a great guy, yeah, with our interaction and everything online. So when we started, it seemed serious. So I was looking at it that, okay, this person we can, you know, be in sync with what I'm doing, with what God is, you know, what God has called me to do, with in line of purpose, you know. And but later on, I saw that this person is not serious. I saw there were some signs that were giving the triggers that this person is not in line with what you are going to be doing, you know, growing up. So when I remember it was when I joined, when I had this circle of friends, yeah, Toyosi, you know, I related the whole thing to her, and then she was like, this person you are going in line is not in line with your. So I knew that they were not in line of my purpose, and I had to just, you know, put them down at that time. So I was serious with God. I was serious with what he had called me to do, with an understanding that, okay, someone is going to come in the picture. I don't have to be distracted with what the world is saying, with how the world defines, you know, at a very young age, you see things, you're exposed to different distractions, you know, you want to be in a relationship and all. But at the same time, when I knew that these things are not going to help me in line with what God is calling me to do, then I just had to, you know, share them off. I had to share them off. So I believe that purpose will direct you to know the right people, the right thing, the right person that you need to be in a relationship with when it's coming to marriage and fulfilling purpose
Yes,
in marriage.
yeah. Purpose defines everything. Purpose defines everything. It's purpose that defines where we go. Purpose defines who we meet. Purpose defines who is our friends. Purpose defines who we marry. Two people that have the same character cannot really sync well. If one person wants to be heard and the other person also wants to be heard in a conversation or in an argument, it doesn't always work. One of the things that helped me in choosing a partner is that I want somebody that will compliment me rather than somebody that is like me. Now, you need to have known yourself to be able to know who will compliment you. Everyone that I believe that I had a relationship with, amazing ladies. Maybe one thing did not gel, another thing did not gel. Maybe immaturity at the time also did not help. But my longest relationship was a year, maybe and 3 months. That was my longest before I met Yemi. But everyone I dated had that aspect of complimenting me. They were not me. They were not like me. In fact, they always acknowledge that you are. Because me, I want to relate to people. I want to be social. People think I grew up like this. I didn't grow up like this. I don't know where this one came from. But I love to meet people. I love to connect with people. I don't want to infringe your space. I just want to connect with you. And once that is done, I structure my relationship with you. But I just like to connect with people. I just like to meet people. I like to hear people's stories. You see, but most of the people that I've dated, they don't talk. You see that? So my idea of marriage was shaping my choice. So will God really choose your partner for you? The truth is that yes, God does choose a partner for you. But how will He choose a partner for you? He chooses a partner for you based on the purpose He has committed to your hands. Because before He gave Adam Eve, He gave Adam purpose. It was purpose that defined the activity that Eve was going to come and be doing. A person, man or woman, that has not found their purpose cannot know what to look for in a partner. A person that has not found what they have been called to do in life cannot really know who can fit into that frame of work. Yes, because I knew that I was called into ministry, and my line of ministry will be very audacious, will be very unconventional. So I needed somebody that was going to be understanding in purpose. I needed somebody that was going to say, okay, because sometimes some things I say may not make sense at the time. Yeah. Because, for somebody that is following Jesus, everything must not make sense immediately, at once. So I needed somebody that could understand, not somebody that was always logical. Okay, what's logic saying? No. But somebody that could, have a blend of logic and spirituality too. Somebody that was, grounded in the spirit. And if I say, God is saying that, we should donate this to this thing, They are not going to argue. They're just going to say, okay, if it's the will of God, because they also have relationship with God. And that's one of the things that I'm grateful for today. I can do a lot of things. I can push, I can drive, I can run, because there's somebody that understands in that same framework. Do you understand? Now, this what we said is very important, because you cannot find purpose outside God. You only find purpose in God. So if you are finding purpose in God, you will find your wife in God. If you are finding purpose in God, you will find your partner in God. But if you have not found your purpose, you don't need a partner. You don't need, because what are they coming to do? Yemi had a job description. I have a job description because I know what I'm doing in her life. She knows what she has come to do in my life. And that is, marriage, like we said, is purpose every day of the week. We can do this because both parties aligned with it. If I wanted to do it and she didn't want to do it, there will not be this. Yeah. Do you understand? This is not our ministry, but it's something that we both love to do, and we are doing it in concordance together. But it has now become a purpose for both of us. By sharing this day after day, time after time, we can look deep into our processes and bring out stuff for people to learn from. But if imagine that we are in Discord, you will pick it up from our videos. You will pick it up from you can't fake these things. You can't fake it. So it's purpose that determines partner. My God. So God does choose. But first, God will choose a purpose for you before he then brings your partner, so that you don't confuse your partner.
Oh my God. This anointing is too much. I think, I was still talking about the inspiration I had to read about Rebecca. And I remember how Abraham told his servant, he told his servant to help him choose a wife for his son Isaac. And at this point, it was not God in particular that said this and this and this is the kind of person that you must marry.
Yes.
But then they were in sync with God's purpose. Abraham told the servant that don't bring someone from
this land.
Yeah, go to my mother's land and get a wife for my partner. And then the servant also didn't just, when he went, he didn't just go there to, just choose anybody.
No.
They needed someone that was going to complement Isaac. So he put it to God that, God, they have sent me here. So I'm also in line with you. I'm working with you at this point, that the person that would work in sync with Isaac, with my master's son, that's the person that you have to, send to me. He said he gave some specifications that this person must give me water, he sat by the well, must give me water, must give the camels water. And then Rebecca came in,
and fit into that frame.
Fit into it.
You understand?
She didn't just give the servant water and then leave. No, everything was in sync. It was in line with God's purpose, So everything, just like you said, the most part of it, everything must be in sync with God's purpose for your life. You can't marry someone that is going to be in opposition.
Don't just marry.
No.
Don't just get married.
No. There has to be a purpose for it. There has to be a reason why you are getting married. You need to have purpose. You can't marry outside purpose. You can't marry outside what you are doing, what God has called you to do. I'm into music ministry, spoken words, and this person here is able to compliment me, is able to assist me, is able to do, carry most of the things. And I remember when I was still, praying to God about my life partner, I told him that someone that would compliment me, someone that would stand as a good midwife, the right midwife that would bed forth, the things that you, Lord, you have deposited in me. So those are the things, those are the criteria that you have to mark before you are able to meet that right person. Now you also have to be in the right position. Right positioning is very, very important, because if you are doing something outside of God's will, then it's not going to go well. And God is definitely not going to force you.
No.
He's not going to force you. So far you are walking in his will. You have accepted, because he created us, and just like in Jeremiah, he said, before you were formed, I knew you. So God already he knows what he wants us to do. He knows how he wants his will to be done through our lives, through us. So he already ordained everything. So what we need to do is just to submit to his will and not do what we want to do, submit to God's will, and he will definitely direct our path. He will definitely direct your path.
So the person that God chooses for you will be beautiful for you. Because they say something that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. That's very true. For some people, Yemi is not beautiful.
Yeah.
Whether you like it
Not
or
my
not.
spec.
For some people, I'm not handsome. But it's our frame that determines, who fits. I hope that you have learned one or two things. Please leave a comment in the comment section. Let us know what part of this video, resonates with you. And, if there's something that you want us to dig deep into, or you want to suggest a topic for us to talk about, or there's something you are confused about and you want us to, shed more light based on our experience, and we can do some research, back it up with our experience, and then come share with you. See you next week.
See you guys.
God bless you. Bye-bye.